about 10 years ago, when I began painting, I went into this with the idea of having a hobby, just doing it for fun. And I didn't really think about it in terms of business or strategy or selling what I was going to make at all. So I've had to really develop some habits throughout the years to help me to stay on track. I'm Amanda. I am a self taught artist. I usually paint with a palette knife. Sometimes I paint with a brush. And I now have my own online gallery called the Little Bluebird Gallery. I teach classes and I sell my original work. But when I began, I was just a hobbyist. It took me a while to get to the point where I could even call myself an artist, number one. And the idea that I was actually running a business came a few years later on after I was actually selling things, but I didn't really think of it as a real business until the past few years, really. So I just wanted to talk to you for just a minute about the difference between a hobbyist and a business owner. There is a difference. And if you are doing what you're doing as a hobby, then some of the things that you may be thinking would be this is just for fun. This is just a little thing that I do on the side. There's no pressure. There's there's not any sort of structure to what you're trying to do. You don't have a plan. You don't have anything written down. You don't keep a calendar. You don't know when you're going to paint what. You don't know if you're even going to paint anything this week or this month or this year. And you're not worried about doing things that are original or finding your own style or voice. All those things just don't really matter to you. You just want to paint to have fun. And that is totally fine. There are a lot of people who paint just for the fun of it, just for a hobby. But if you are wanting to have a business, then you've got to think about it a little bit differently. You have to have a plan. You have to have a strategy. You need to have ideas that are marketable. You've got to be open. You've got to, share more about yourself than you may feel 100% comfortable with. You have to be likable. You have to be trustworthy. When you say you're going to do something, you need to do it. If you are um, really serious about turning your hobby into something more, then you're going to have to be consistent. And that is really the number one thing that I would give you as advice is if you're wanting to turn it into a business, you need consistency in all areas. Consistency in your studio time where you're doing the actual work that you're going to sell. You need to be consistent with what you put out on the internet as far as your social media goes. And you need to be consistent with your own way of creating. Um, and you have to almost be obsessed with whatever it is that you're doing to a point that it is a little bit unhealthy. And almost all successful entrepreneurs or business owners, whether they're artists or not, get to a point of burnout because they are so passionate about whatever it is that they're doing that they do it all the time. And I'm not saying that you need to burn out. You don't need to turn it into something that's unhealthy. But I'm saying that determination and and borderline obsession is usually what keeps people going so that they can turn whatever it is that they're passionate about into something that is a business. So you get to decide. I'm not going to decide it for you. You get to decide, do you want to have a hobby or do you want to have a business? And you can do either one. There's no right or wrong, but you do need to know that there is a difference between the two. So, if I hope this was helpful, and if this was something that you've been thinking about lately and you're trying to decide, Do I want to try to make money with my art, or do I just want to do this for fun? Maybe this will help you to decide one way or the other. And you definitely need to think about it. And there is always room for more artists in the world. And I hope that this was helpful. And if you have any questions, just leave me a comment below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Um, Also, right now, I've just opened up a new offering for those who are ready to turn their hobby into a business, and it's called the Bluebird Society. So if you're interested in learning more, then I'll be happy to help you, and you can find a link here in the description. Thanks for watching, and